The thing about this depression, if you give most depressed people money, you will see the depression. It will totally come. I'm telling you.
I'm not going to give an like.
Would you call the cops?
Hello beautiful people, how are you all doing? My name is Rachel Isaac. Today, October 10th, is actually World Mental Health Day. So we are on the streets of Lagos today talking to people about what they know about mental health awareness. How do you identify and help someone living with a mental health issue? What are the dangers of not knowing what it means to be mentally healthy? These and more we will be talking about on the streets of Lagos today. What do you know about mental health?
Mental health, when you talk about mental, it has to do with the brain, the way you think, the way the brain stimulates thinking of the day. You're working, you are thinking, almost virtually everything that has to do with life is about thinking, and if you are not mentally articulated, you cannot be mentally balanced, so you can't really perform like a normal person. You'll be acting all anti-clockwise instead of clockwise.
All right, mental health as it sounds, that's like the well-being. That's like the psychological evaluation of anybody. So more like the well-being. Let me just put the well-being of anybody. So that's like the mental health.
An abnormality, probably, of a person that is always depressed, facing a lot of challenge and facing a lot of denial and lack of results. You see them all around us. They're everywhere. They're among the people even walking down the road now, and you always see them, they feel bad, and little thing they just get angry and they start shouting, you understand? Little thing you just ask them, they always want to feel bad. When
you talk about mental health, you talk about the psychological parts of the patient, of the person. Some people can be having instability in their mental health, whereby they can be depressed. And how can you actually know somebody that is depressed? If that person, number one, if that person having withdrawal tendency, for example, those things the person actually find fun doing, the person stops doing them, and the person likes being in the world of his or her own, then with that you will also know that this person is becoming depressed.
Okay, so a lot of people seem to they kind of mistake depression for sadness. That's why they see someone who is sad, the person says, "Oh, I'm depressed." Meanwhile, it's just sadness. So can you tell us the differences between someone who is sad and someone who is depressed?
Different day. Person who is sad and person who is depressed. You understand now? A depressed person is a person who is constantly and always in that emotion, always feeling sad, always not happy about any good thing that happens around him or her. You understand? And any slight mistake, okay, imagine working for a person that is depressed. Now, any slight mistake you make in the office, you are in for trouble. The person is always shouting at you at every slight mistake you make. Now, someone who is sad is not a constant emotion. It's something that just happens once in a while. But this person is a very friendly person. It still smiles. But that depressed person will never ever smile. Is always depressed. Always, you understand? Here.
Okay, let me start from depression. There's something I've actually noticed about depression. Depression mostly is as a result of maybe what one is thinking. And depression, it's a mental thing. But sadness is not a mental thing. Sadness is emotional. It's a thing of emotion, maybe, and it's temporal. It's something you can actually get rid of in time. But if it's not well treated at that time, it can promote to depression.
How do you know or identify someone who is living with depression, and how do you help them overcome it?
Yeah, when you talk about depression has to do with a lot of things. Look at our economy in Nigeria. Someone can be depressed financially. It can be social life. It could be social life. It could be intimacy or life relationship. So it depends on the level of the depression. But identifying the person is the number one primary thing. Then when you identify, you then conversing with the person, knowing, because there's no way you can treat a patient without having a particular discussion. Yeah, so identifying the person and talking, having a one-on-one talk with the person. What you can be able to solve is our problem.
Now, some people like eating too much when they are depressed.
Or when they are pregnant.
Yeah, so get them a lot to eat. And they'll be fine. And some people like going out to parties when they are depressed. Yeah, take them out, bills on me kind of a thing. and they'll be fine. Yeah.
There are some decisions, there are things that goes on within you that you need to inform somebody, as in you need to be accountable to somebody. It could even be your religious leader, it could be your pastor, it could be anybody. So I think that's the very first thing. You need to be accountable. Number two, also, you need to, once you know something is really eating you up, you don't need to just stay it within you. You need to cry, share it, let it out. Share it with people, talk. This is it. You can even, it's a world of social media now. You can even go all out and make something about it. Let people contribute to this, so that it helps you soften your mind. It allows you to see other avenues, because the truth is, there are a whole lot of ways in which you can solve that problem. The problem you feel that is making you depressed, there are millions of other people that has the same problem, and you cannot know, and they are living with it. You cannot know, but because they've been able to master it, and so they are not seeing the negative, they are seeing the positive. So I think once you are counting the negative, oh, this is what I don't get, this is what I don't have, this is what I need. Once you are counting that, to become depressed, but you should look forward for the positive. Okay, this is what I have, this is what I have here, this is so. Once you are more positive, it will be difficult for depression to get hold of you.
The thing about this depression, if you give most depressed people money, you will see the depression, it will totally come. I'm telling you, it will end. So I don't really believe in depression. You see, most people are depressed, they choose to be depressed. They choose to be depressed. Circumstances can come around you, and I don't know, it is if you are rich in mind, it's as a result of poor minds. Poor mind leads to, they do have this depression, they are easily depressed. But when you are rich in mind, you can't be overwhelmed by depression. Instead, you just...
That's not cool, chop. See, you made some valid points. I'm just take the floor and continue.
How can you help a depressed person? Number one is that you try to create the world around the person. Let the person understand that, yes, I'm not the one passing. Try to know the cause of the depression. One, it can be as a result of loss of life. It can be as a result of emotional trauma. Yes, heartbreak. So when you know the cause of the emotional trauma, that's when you can actually help the person. So if it's actually an emotional trauma, you try to make the person understand that actually that everything in this world have a solution, and that aspect he or she is going through, being depressed, is not actually the best way. Then you can actually get a diversional therapy in order to help the patient.
Reach out for help, meet consultants, ask for advice, and that way you will overcome depression.
Someone said that depression cannot be cured, it can only be managed. What do you think? Are you for or against this notion?
No, I'm against it. It can be solved, but it's going to take time. It's not a one-day something. Something you constantly have to solve. Always meet up with the person. Babe, what's up now? How are you doing? Or let's take the person out and, make the person feel relaxed. Make the person feel he or she has a reason for leaving. You understand? You can solve it. Yes.
Okay, so what message would you give to the person, someone right now who is watching us and is depressed and they don't know what the next step is, how to go about life, they are just tired and suicidal? What message would you give to them today to make them maybe feel better temporarily, or maybe believe that there's hope?
Okay. There are billions of people right now lying in the cemetery, and there are also billions of people walking on earth. I want you to know that because you're on earth, you have a reason to live. You don't have to be depressed. Thank you.
This is the much you can take on the streets of Lagos today. It's been Vox Pop Live on Pulse TV. I'm your girl Rachel Isaac Ray. Let us know what you think about this. I say goodbye. Bye guys.